Please subscribe to this channel for more videos related to Catholic Christian teaching. According to the teaching of St. Thomas Aquinas, theology is a true science because it uses as principles the securely founded basic truths of divine revelation, draws new knowledge from these by strict scientific method, and unites the whole in a coherent and complete system. Nevertheless, theology is a subordinate science because its principles are not immediately evident to us in themselves, but are taken over from a higher science, the science of God communicated by revelation. Sacred doctrine is a science because it proceeds from principles established by the light of a higher science, namely the science of God and the blessed. The development of historical research at the beginning of the modern era expanded the concept of science and allowed for its application to positive theology as well. By science, in the objective sense, is understood today a system of methodically worked out knowledge about a specified object. Theology possesses a specified object, uses a methodical process adapted to the object, and unites its results in a unified and coherent system. Submission to the authority of God and the Church does not detract from theology's scientific character, because theology by its nature pertains to the essence of the truth revealed by God and which He placed in the hands of the Church, and therefore this submission cannot be separated from the object of theology. Theology transcends all other sciences by the majesty of its object, by the supreme certainty of its knowledge, which is based on the infallible knowledge of God, and by its immediate ordering toward the ultimate destination of man. According to St. Thomas, theology is both a speculative and practical science because it contemplates on the one hand God, the first truth, and things outside of God in their relation to Him, and on the other hand, it contemplates the moral actions of man in relation to his ultimate supernatural goal in the light of divine truth. The speculative side of theology has preeminence because theology, above all, strives after the knowledge of divine truth, and because even the final aim of moral theology is found in the perfect knowledge of God. The medieval Franciscan school looks upon theology primarily as a practical or affective science, because theological knowledge by its very nature is aimed at moving the affections or the will. The main object of theology is the moral perfection of man, that we may be good. The ultimate reason for the various answers to the problem lies in the various assessments of the hierarchy of the powers of the human soul. St. Thomas and his school with Aristotle recognize the primacy of the intellect. The Franciscan school with St. Augustine that of the will. Theology is wisdom, since its object is God, the ultimate and origin of all things. It is the supreme wisdom, since it contemplates God, the ultimate origin, in the light of the truths of revelation communicated to man from the wisdom of God Himself. Theology is a science of faith. It is concerned with faith in the objective sense, that which is believed, and in the subjective sense, that by which we believe. Theology, like faith, accepts as the sources of its knowledge sacred scripture and tradition, and also the doctrinal assertions of the Church. But as a science of faith, it seeks by human reason to penetrate the content and the context of the supernatural system of truth and to understand it as much as possible. St. Augustine expresses this thought in the words, "Believe that you may understand." St. Anselm of Canterbury with the words, "Faith seeking understanding," and "I believe that I may understand." And Richard of St. Victor with the words, "Let us hasten from faith to knowledge. Let us endeavor so far as we can to understand that which we believe." Theology is a unitary science, as it has a single formal object, God and the created world, insofar as they are the objects of divine revelation. As revelation is a communication of the divine knowledge, so theology is, in the words of St. Thomas, a stamp or impression imposed by the divine knowledge on the created human spirit. Theology is divided into various branches and departments according to their various functions, which are all subdivisions of one theological science: dogmatic theology, biblical historical theology, and practical theology. Please go to YouTube Retirement channel, playlist Doctrines on God for the complete series of these materials.